Okay, hi and welcome. Um, a little bit different this week. I'm going to do a brief introductory video. That's the start of the workshop slides, and then record those workshop slides in the drop-in session. The reason I'm doing that is because A, I had some technical difficulties earlier today. I normally try to get these up Tuesday morning. And B, it just seemed a more efficient way to do it, given that only a very few people have been dropping in, while other people have been contacting me directly at other times. So here goes. So this is just going to be a flick through telling you what we're going to be covering in this workshop. You'll notice that there are a lot of videos in this workshop, and each video explains some key aspect or a key aspect of the theory and practice. So in a way, many of the slides that we used in the workshop in the face-to-face version are just backups of those slides. So I'm just going to take, and I've posted these slides onto your website as well. So here goes. Let's have a quick look at what we've got. So, International Business Workshop slides, they are adapted from the textbook and other sources. And what we're doing in this module is we're going to identify the motivation for that nations have to trade with each other. And we're going to talk about different motivations. And those different motivations, those different reasons are going to be based on a range of different selected trade theories. We're going to discuss the economic and social case for and against free trade, effectively the free versus fair trade debate. We're going to discuss the role of government in promoting competitive advantage and identify and discuss the implications of trade theory on international business practices. As I said, there's a whole set of slides here that outline each of the key points from each of these objectives, the key theoretical and applied aspects. But as well as that, there's a range of things that are on the unit website that you will find very useful for exploring this topic. So looking at the unit website, which I will find really soon now. For some reason, it's refusing to open. Give me 2 seconds and I will smoothly open the right page of the unit website, and then I'll go back to start sharing screen again so you can see what I am in fact talking about. This is the unit website for Module 5. It's in with the rest of the unit website. First week of Section 3. Section 3 is our exploration of trade and investment theory and trade and investment practice. So we're looking at the broader global trade and investment environment. The 5 objectives I just mentioned are here. To prepare, you need to read Chapter 6 of the textbook, watch the video on these countries of and why countries trade, why organisations trade with each other. There's why countries trade, specialisation in trade, import, exports and trade, and the Bangladesh shipbuilding case. The Bangladesh shipbuilding case is the thing we're going to be using for our interactive debates in Friday's workshop. There are also a number of video resources down here that deal with these issues: why countries trade, specialisation of trade, import, exports, and in-train trade. The Heckscher-Ohlin trade theory, new trade theory, Porter's diamond. Porter's diamond explained in 2 different ways: globalisation and trade and poverty, which you'll find very interesting for the post-workshop activity, and the shipbuilders of Bangladesh, which comes from Vice International, which will be the basis of our mini debates. The forum is a little bit different from the forum we normally do. The forum activity will ask you just to watch a particular video. This video is on the deceptive promise of free trade. It's from Deutsche Welle, which is, I suppose, Germany's CNN, Germany's BBC. It's an English language news channel. And it provides a very interesting discussion of trade theory and the impact of trade theory and the impact of things like the European Union and the impact of Donald Trump's America First policy, which is essentially a mercantilist policy, or could be argued to be a mercantilist policy. And there are 3 or 4 questions that I want you to consider while you're watching that video, but you don't have to post answers for this video. You have to watch it and then mark complete that you've completed this activity. So it's a more holistic introduction to what we're dealing with over the next few weeks, and it provides a pretty clear theoretical base. In the workshop, we're going to use that video case to have an interactive debate, and the interactive debate questions will come out next Friday in the workshop. So you'll have time in the workshop. We're going to do a little bit of a review of what's happening in the workshop on Friday, a little bit of review of our theories. Then we're going to spend most of the time doing some group preparation, and then the mini debates on some questions that relate to the application of free and fair trade, using the Bangladesh shipbuilders case as our example. So I would encourage you to print out, or at least have an electronic copy for Friday, of the workshop slides, because they'll be useful as you apply the theory from those slides to be able to prepare your answers. So that's it in a nutshell, what we'll be doing this week in the unit, and what we're doing today on Friday in the Zoom workshop, and what you need to do after the Zoom workshop. Now I can see people starting to arrive and drop in now on the workshop for this week. I know they've only just arrived, so what I'm going to do now is just stop the lecture component, probably stop recording now, so that I can then do the drop-in activities with members of the class as they arrive.